We saw you. We saw you protesting for Traore. Yeah. What's going on? What is happening is that entire Africa is behind Traore.
President Macron of France, 7 years ago, when you embarrassed the former president of Burkina Faso in his own home country in Ouagadougou and got the ignorant applause of the university students about electricity problems in their country, you never thought this day will ever come. Folks,
icons are not held accountable. Today, those who killed Grisani, they say they can repeat it again tomorrow. What is freedom about that?
Hi, my kings and queens. Welcome back to another beautiful, interesting, and most importantly, educative and expository episode for what we have trending on the internet. Yes, for the one and only, our very own legend, our hero, the hero of Africa as we speak, in no other person than Ibrahim Traore. Guys, we know that as a matter of fact, we are first Africans before our various or individual countries. And if we want to retrospect back to where we are coming from, we can attest to the fact that it's been history, like history after history of long period of imperialism, apartheid, and slavery from the hands of our colonials. It didn't start today. It has actually been a thing. And if you want to retrospect and ask what are they interested in, there are so many things, but the most important part of it is that these people are really interested of our mineral resources, because they know that that is mostly what captivates their interest. And that's why you see that they come with this rule of divide and conquer. They set up chaos, they set up violence, they set up crises, wars upon wars between us as Africans, between us as countries in Africa. And the next thing, while we are distracted, they strike. But thankfully, ladies and gentlemen, that the new wave, the shocking wave in the continent of Africa has arisen. And yes, people, countries, individuals have decided as we speak to stand with the one and only Burkina Faso president Ibrahim Traore, who have taken it upon himself that yes, history again will be made of liberation, freedom from the hands of these people. I know there are many great heroes that have fought against these people we see as our colonials, as our number one enemies, but yet they unalived them, they assassinated and eliminated them. But seeing Ibrahim Traore as a messiah, as a hero, as a king, as a demigod that has come to redeem the continent of Africa, they are not happy and they are not relenting in removing him or deleting him out of the system. But I am glad and happy to put it on here that so many countries have stood up to their feet to say, no, enough is enough. Back off from Ibrahim Traore. Free Africa, free Ibrahim Traore. Guys, this is a fight for Africa, not just Ibrahim Traore, but Ibrahim Traore as our leader, as our head man. We are with him. In this video I'm about to react to, guys, are videos of different countries from South Africa down to Ghana, down to Nigeria. In fact, even the Western British country who know the importance of Ibrahim Traore, the importance of Africa as a continent, and the meaning on what Africa stands to represent, have a lot to say. It's a bunch and a lot, but I would advise and appeal that we watch till the end. I want to first of all thank South Africa, thank Ghana in question, and every country that has put in their effort to really make this match, to make this proclamation, to make this fight a dream come true. On the 30th, people stormed out to the streets, stormed out to embassies that have to do with Britain, that have to do with the US, yes, to tell them that enough is enough, telling the leader that enough is enough, telling the president of US that enough is enough. Free Africa, let Africa stand on its own. We can make it, we can do it on our own. Ibrahim Traore has shown us beyond every reasonable doubt that Africa has what it takes, and every leader who is ready can do it. As for today, I don't know what Nigerians are up to, but in this video, we're going to hear from a representative of Nigeria, and as well from Ghana, and as well from every state that has turned out in mass to do this. Please, like I said, like this video and share for more visibility. I am standing in gap as a Nigerian representing Nigeria through this platform to say enough is enough. Our continent must stand. Our continent must arise. No more unaliving our great heroes. They have done it over and over again, but this is the end. You touch Ibrahim Traore, you've touched Africa. I like the spirit, and this is the spirit we want. Keep it coming. Keep it burning, guys. Let's see these videos, and I will be right back.
We saw you. We saw you protesting for Traore. Yeah. What's going on? What is happening is that entire Africa is behind Traore. So why not the guy who speaks for Africa to support him? I mean, it's beautiful to see that the entire Africans are more like waking up to support what the guy is doing. You know. Hey. Where's the car?
It's here. Just follow me.
I even forgot where I'm going, eh? What the question about protesting for it? You know, it's exciting to see that Africans are uniting. You know, it took Ibrahim Traore to unite Africans. Can you believe that, like, Africans out of Africa are protesting? You know, supporting Ibrahim Traore, which is.
Thank you everyone for coming.
Thank you, Mama.
All the way from South Africa. We came out of our houses to come and celebrate Ibrahim Traore. We are here to show solidarity to Traore and the people of Burkina Faso. We are saying one Africa, Amanda. Amanda. Ibrahim Traore is not going to be like Gaddafi, Amanda. We are going to stand in solidarity with Ibrahim Traore, Amanda.
The message today is that Donald Trump, General, they're not going to touch Ibrahim Traore. The whole Africa is standing up right now. We are saying we are not scared of you. If it means death, bring it on. We are ready for you. One Africa is our minerals. The time is now. We are standing. Amanda!
To fight for our land. Vive l'Afrique! Vive l'Afrique! Vive l'Afrique!
We blacks, we Africans, this is our time now. We need to unite now. All our differences we must put aside. These people have, I don't know, they worked us. They have their system, but they worked on us. We are not our ancestors. This is our time. The time is now. Let's fight African. Let's fight for our brother. He has started. We need more leaders like him. The time is now. Viva Africa! Viva Africa!
President Macron of France, 7 years ago, when you embarrassed the former president of Burkina Faso in his own home country in Ouagadougou and got the ignorant applause of the university students about electricity problems in their country, you never thought this day will ever come. Folks, I want to show you what hypocrisy actually means in real life before I commence with my letter. Watch this.
You speak to me as if France was still a colonial power, but I do not want to take care of electricity problems in the universities of Burkina Faso. That's his job. That's the job of the president. So on the other hand, I reassure you. Oh, what's this? He's going away. Stay there. Maybe he's off to repair the air conditioning.
President Macron lied, got the ignorant applause of the students, and made the poor president of Burkina Faso at that time walk shamelessly away. But I will begin my letter with a well-known Ghanaian proverb, which goes like this. Ladies and gentlemen, it translates like this, and I quote, "When you want to speak with God, you speak into the air." End of quote. Ladies and gentlemen, the man this letter is meant for isn't a god, but a mortal human being born of a woman. He is the president of France, and this letter is to you, President Emmanuel Macron. Mr. President, my name is Cyrus from Ghana. It is with a tremendous level of courage I write you this letter. I know you are one of the most influential leaders in Europe and a very powerful figure in global politics. And I also have some level of understanding of your relevance and control in all the Francophone states in Africa until recently. Rumors has it that you are behind the succession of all the elected Francophone presidents currently in Africa. So, you are without a doubt a man capable of doing many things, both good and evil, from where you sit. Your army is one of the finest in the world, I'll give you that, whether on the ground or on the sea or in the air. But you see, Mr. President, for the first time, I know you are going after the wrong person in Burkina Faso, and I know the outcome of this attempt will hurt you more than you ever considered in the long term. Since the early 17th century, when your people first arrived in Africa, your people and your government took the advantage of modern technology at a time to outsmart our forefathers and took as many resources as you wanted. You planted the gold, the diamonds, silver, copper, timber, and even took the people to work as slaves in France, all for free. This is how you built Paris. This was the backbone of France's development, Africa's blood and resources. Without these African countries, France would have been like any regular country in Eastern Europe at best right now. These African countries are the reasons you have more than 2,400 tons of gold in your national reserve today. It's enough, Mr. President. It's time you consider looking for an alternative source of raw materials to sustain France. Burkina Faso and the rest of the Sahel region will not be a part of your plans for France's future. In fact, they will drop the CFA franc as their currency soon. They have already started printing new passports for the Sahel group of countries, which is different from the ECOWAS passport. So obviously, the next big move by Burkina Faso and the rest of the Sahel region will be dropping the CFA currency, which should indicate to you that they don't want to be associated with France and with you. They are a sovereign country like you. I mean, think about this. Would America ever allow for Britain to print their dollars in any time in history for any reason? Would Australia allow for Britain to print their currency even today? No serious country will permit it. That's why you have to know that this time Burkina Faso is serious. This time Niger and Mali aren't playing around, Mr. President. You have done this to them since you gave them their political independence but kept back the economic independence. They have at this point come to the realization that continuing with you will only keep them impoverished and underdeveloped. Now, the whole of Africa is watching, and we are not watching through your legacy media lenses like before. This time, we have alternatives, and information is out there for anyone looking. There is no need for France to be present in any African country again unless it's for a mutually beneficial and respectful business purposes or for vacationing only. And if that isn't enough for you, then the people of Africa will have to do whatever it takes to protect their leader and their resources. And lest I forget, if you weren't masterminding all these wars and coups and tribal tensions in these African countries in the first place, the situations of these French-speaking African countries would have been totally different. Mr. President, I need to ask you these questions before I conclude. Many people around the world describe you, Mr. President, as a warmonger. Is that true? Some say you are the reason behind why Libya is falling and in rubble today. They say you plotted the removal of Gaddafi with the support of NATO because Gaddafi has so much oil and gas and wasn't yielding to your commands and was rather pushing for Pan-African agenda, and so you had to remove him. Is there any merit to this, Mr. President? Others say your country supported the Hutu-led government that carried out the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi minority in Rwanda. Is that true, Mr. President? The Ivorians say you removed Gbagbo and installed Ouattara. You removed Sankara and installed Compaoré in Burkina Faso. On and on you go about creating wars and destabilizing countries around the world. They say you dress in fine suit, appearing as though you come in peace, but in reality chaos and hell follows you. Is that case true, Mr. President? Is there any merit to this? I wonder the type of dreams you have at night, Mr. President. Do you still have dreams of an Africa in chains, marching on barefoot under your command? Is that the kind of dreams you still have? Do you still dream of an Africa whose drinking cup is placed at your feet begging for a fill? Or do you see nightmares in your dream? Like an Africa who has dumped your currency, dumped their allegiance to France, dumped your education system, and set out on a new path. I genuinely wonder what you see in your dreams at night, Mr. President, because you seem to be more concerned about African matters than your own country. Mr. Macron, you have to find a way to explain to the corporations that gives you commands on what to do with Africa, because the times have changed. This new crop of African people is different from the previous. They love their country, and that no amount of media propaganda can change their minds. All those jihadist and militant attacks on villages to arouse the anger of the local people in Burkina Faso against Captain Traore will not work. We know your usual tactics of using one from within to take him out. We know it, and it will fall. Check this out, Mr. President. In less than 3 years, without your presence in Burkina Faso, a gold mine and a refinery company is running. Tomato farms and processing plants are activated. Flour production from local wheat farms are in operation. And construction of roads are underway by the state. Electric car manufacturing is already selling, and a new cement and fabric processing companies are operational. This is a testament to the fact that they don't need you. The people of the Sahel region can do well without you. Your presence in these countries over the years has been all about taking, and taking more. No roads, no factories, no healthcare infrastructure. All you do is take all you want to replenish France. Without them, France is nothing. This is how President Macron lied, ladies and gentlemen, about the electricity crisis in Burkina Faso 7 years ago. Even though the Burkina-based state electricity company called Sonabel was the company directly in charge of generating and distributing electricity in the country, France, through a mixture of direct investment and infrastructure development, financial aid, and corporate involvement, particularly through French energy companies, were the ones who actually controlled how much capacity is produced in the country. This is why you find the former president of Burkina Faso walk away from Macron. Propaganda is what these guys have used to control the world until now. But Mr. President, from 2025 onwards, Africa will never be the same. And so go and tell your paymasters and their establishments that the fool is wise. This is the era of Africa. This era is when Africa arises, and nothing can deny it. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you, and continue to share this video until it finds its way into the hands of the President of France. If you haven't subscribed to this channel and you are first timer here, I encourage you to do so to support us to grow. I'll come your way.
And when we say that today we are free, we must ask ourselves, where is the land that was taken from us? What is freedom without justice? Why do you say we are free when those who killed our liberation icons are not held accountable? Today, those who killed Grisani, they say they can repeat it again tomorrow. What is freedom about that? Today, as we speak, Grisani has never received his justice. Where is the justice of Steve Biko, who was killed in isolation? He died alone, naked and chained in a cell in 1977. Yet there has never been justice for the killing of Steve Biko, yet you claim freedom. We must know that everywhere else in the world today, the people want to crush South Africa because of what South Africa stands for. We must never allow that South Africa must be bullied by imperialist forces. America must never tell us what to do. The same United States, which is furious at being cut off from the riches of Burkina Faso, cannot tell us what to do. We stand with Captain Traore. We stand with Traore because we know that Traore stands for the unity of Africa. We are Traore, and Traore is all of us. If they kill Traore, you must know they would have created another wound in the continent of Africa. We must defend him the same way we defend the unity of Africa. We must defend China for defying the USA and telling, because they don't understand how the tariffs works. Donald Trump is an enemy of himself and all of us, and he must know the EFF is not scared of him. The EFF is not scared of Israel. The EFF is not scared of Morocco. The EFF is not scared of the imperialist forces. The EFF will stand on the side of the people of DRC, the people of Sudan, and the people of Sahrawi.
Bola Ahmed Tinubu So far he's trying to make Nigeria one party system. I guess at the end of the day, they will make it an autocratic system of government at the end of the day. And it's so crazy that because of money and because of power, a lot of people, a lot of politicians that at the end of the day, nobody say we even respect any politician. All of them are the same boat. They come and join our heads together, and that is what is annoying the lives of very dark man, right? You people need to have sense, especially in this forthcoming election. You people need to have sense. You people need to have sense. It's just so painful. I wish all the people that they pay money, may they go snatch ballot box. All those people where politicians they pay, I wish they fit come to me. I will pay you people too. I will pay you. Don't do that work for them. If they contact you, contact me. We'll go thief the ballot box together. We'll come carry and go where they count by ourselves. Politicians stop using your head. They go call. The only time these people call you to use you, if not that these youths they don't have sense. The only time they call you to use you is after every 4 years. They'll call you after 4 years. They'll use you. Immediately after they use you, they will now dump you. Now let me give you a story. I'm not gonna call name, right? Of course, if people know me, I know they just open my mouth and talk. I'm not gonna call name. So there's this politician, right? He told some boys to help him snatch something. True life story. These boys, about 8 of them, they helped him snatch the thing. When they snatched the thing, he now called them for a meeting. As he called them for the meeting, do you know what this politician did to these boys? They opened fire on these boys. They killed all of them. All these boys, they finished all of them. Killed them. Now, what were they promised? They don't promise you one kind of money. Do you understand? They use you for all these things. They just, you are not worth nothing. You are not worth anything to these guys. Anything. And the sooner you people realize, the better for you. So you know when they send people, they go. If they send people, they go home. Reverend Father, we don't know your papa. As that Reverend Father did here, so you don't even know Tinubu. You don't know Akpabio and the rest people where they carry themselves go there. You don't know these guys. You are going for his funeral. All of them, not just even Nigerian politicians, right? Not just Nigerian politicians. All the politicians around the world that went there, they didn't go there because they give a father that died. You think they care about the father that died? They don't care about the father that died. Both the US politicians, both the UK politicians, none of them care about the father who died. Catholic people now we think, oh yes, our father is influential, they love him, they like him so much. No. All the politicians that went there, they went there to do politics. They all went there to do politics. All of them. None of them went there because they like the Reverend Father that died. None of them. None. They won't go meet their fellow politicians, maybe they discuss how they want to dupe their countries. That's what they want to go and do there. That's what they want to go and do there. Now, let's now go to Ibrahim Traore, the president of Burkina Faso. In the following years to come, as we talk like this, they are trying everything hard now. They'll push every propaganda, every type of video against that guy. I just pity the guy, yo. I just pity the guy. I pity that guy, to be very honest, because we see that they plan to do that guy. That's why we need to do every campaign as possible to make sure Ibrahim Traore does not leave power. Because the likes of Ibrahim Traore, now they connect Africa, the dots together. Do you understand? If you notice, Nigerian politicians, they don't even talk about that side. They don't talk towards that side because more people like Ibrahim Traore go make them know the thief again. People like Ibrahim Traore will look them to their face. If you look somewhere like Tinubu, tell them say, why for your regime they're the thief? Why? All the money will be steal. Imagine using 10 billion to come do solar. 10 billion. 10 billion to come do solar. That 10 billion will bring the Chinese company that do solar to this country. The Chinese company one that they buy that solar from. It will bring them to Nigeria. They will have an assembling plant here in Nigeria. They will show the people how to do that solar. And we can be buying solar very cheap. But of course, this government, they are so daft. The other time I thought say the people that are there around the president, a lot of them get cockroach, they get cobwebs on their brain. Then they attack me. The teacher don't know which side they follow them talk. And the annoying part, if not be said because of say, okay, yes, I know a lot of Yoruba people, a lot. I know a lot of Yoruba people that are reasonable. I for don't accuse the whole Yorubas. But because I know a lot of them, I know countless Yoruba people that are very intelligent and very smart. They are not bigots. But you see, this generation, a lot of them are crazy. Go and learn from Fela. Obasanjo, he did knock about this is a Yoruba and a Yoruba man. Fela did knock Obasanjo on steady. Nothing concern and say, this is not my brother. Fela was never biased. Fela was never tribalistic. Fela would just wake up one morning and say, okay, you know what, today, na Buhari, tomorrow, na Obasanjo, tomorrow, na. Do you understand? That's how you help Nigerian grow. They will use una finish. A lot of Yoruba people feel say, if they support Tinubu regime, maybe money go reach you. Money no go reach you. They don't shit for Lagos. They shit for ground for Lagos. They kidnap person. They kidnap one woman for Kwara State. They kidnap one woman for Kwara State now. They request money. We never even talk good outside. You think it's by party? Nigeria will crumble if people don't leave tribalism on the side. This same thing, the Igbos are guilty of it. The Igbos are guilty of it. The Hausas are guilty of it. Then the Yorubas. Tribalism won't finish. Igbo they say, na Yoruba, na ain't like tribalism. Yoruba they say, Igbo are too tribalistic. Outside we just one place they look now. Down Boro Banku, Kunchikutuma Boro Banku, Keruku Zonampa, Mune me one Nigeria, don't Kutuma Boro Banku, Mune Anampa. Until when you people realize that it goes beyond the party, it goes beyond tribalism, that is only when Africa and Nigeria can strive. The day Nigeria connect the dot, every other African country will prevail. Anyways, who are they bring come up?
Family, we did it!
Les impérialistes! La révolution! La patrie ou la mort! That's why.
It was massive. 30th April was a massive protest in Ghana. My goodness. It was loud. Our messages actually went out. The youth came out. You know, the protest, when it comes to Ghana, actually, you know, it is all Africa protest coming on 30th April, and it has happened all across the entire Africa, especially in Burkina Faso. It was just loud everywhere on the street. I mean, it was so much in the diaspora. People went on the street. In Ghana, I was not expecting, because we didn't plan it actually, because the whole thing was rumors and we were not sure of what exactly was going on. What I remember was that I was one of the first people that spoke about the protest with this particular video, but I didn't set a date. All of a sudden a date was set, and before we realized, lovely people, it was just massive. And as I'm talking to you right now, I just came back from the protest ground as I'm doing this video. So when you check and we will switch, you check the video, the same dress I'm wearing with this.
Hands off Burkina Faso. That is our message. Hands off AES. Hands off Sahel.
And without wasting time, lovely people, let me take you through the protest. So immediately, this we are seeing was the meeting we had at the embassy of Burkina Faso right here in Accra, Ghana. And it was just massive, as you are seeing. It got to the level where the youth have to be out of coverage area and set ablaze the flag of the imperialists, as you are seeing out there. This should tell you how serious the youth of Africa are when it comes to the liberation and unity of Africa. First time the youth are coming out, putting away their political differences and tribalistic differences in solidarity for one man. History is made on the 30th of April 2025. This has never happened before. That all Africans, youth will come out protesting to protect just even a particular country. And here we are talking about 3 countries coming together to stand in solidarity with the AES. And this is not only happening in Ghana, it's happening across the entire world. And so lovely people, we did the best we can, and then it got to question and answer and interview side. Listen to the sense that the youth of Africa put out, messages that they load back to back to the entire world, to the imperialists, to the enemy, telling them to keep their hands off the AES. Let's enjoy that, lovely people.
If you are okay with Ibrahim Traore, yes. You are okay with Ibrahim Traore, yes. Greetings. I see that you are on fire. Yes, sir. And the whole crowd, everybody's on fire. High energy. Please, yes. Tell me what is happening here. Right. America is falling. America is falling. The West a message. Yes, that's what sums up everything. The West is falling. Yes. And yes, this is a show of solidarity with the people of Burkina Faso and their leader, Captain Traore. We're here to let them know they're not alone. Right. So whatever is happening in Burkina Faso is happening everywhere, particularly in Ghana. So today is a show of solidarity with our people in Burkina Faso. Yes, that's what happened today. Great. So what do you think about the leadership of Burkina Faso? Which side are you in the news? You know, you have the propagandists and putting the message out there that he's a bad leader, he's analyzing people, he's not developing his nation, and on the other side, he's a good leader, and we can see people attesting to that fact. I mean, what do you have to say in regards to that? Right. So Sekou Toure said something. He says, the day you find our enemies praising me, no, I betrayed you. Right? There's no way your enemy would actually say anything good about you. But let's deal with the issue. Let's break it down. Let's make it very simple. America and France seem so concerned about Traore and Burkina Faso, right? The question is, what is their business in Burkina Faso? For a very long time, the French colonies in Africa, 14 of them, in fact, till date, don't have their own Ministry of Finance. They always have to keep their monies in the Ministry of Finance in France. So if Burkina Faso wants to buy anything from Ghana, they would have to write to the Finance Ministry in France for them to release the funds to Ghana. Where does this make sense? France has, if not the third, then it's the 4th largest gold reserve in the world. But France doesn't have a single active gold mine in France. So where's the gold coming from? So today, the people to the leadership of Burkina Faso are saying they do not want France in their country any longer. How is that a bad thing? In fact, the people, not just in France and in Burkina Faso, but across the world, are standing in support of what Burkina Faso is doing. So what's the West's business in this? Let me even tell you something very interesting. When the Ghanaian president was being inaugurated on the 7th of January 2025, Captain Traore was a guest of honor. Hear this. He was applauded even more than the president who was being sworn in Ghana. That tells you how popular he is. So our message to France and America is this. The Mufiasem. Deal with your issues in America and in France. France is broke today. As of 2019, their debt to GDP was about 173%. Today is much worse. France should deal with their nonsense in France and leave Burkina Faso alone. America is in tatters today. America is well in over $3 trillion in debt. They should deal with their nonsense and leave Traore alone. Today, look at the life of Burkina Faso in Burkina Faso today. Burkina Faso has complete and absolute ownership of all their resources, particularly gold. In nothing at all, our man has built 2 tomato factories and is actually industrializing. What has France done in Burkina Faso in the last 100 years? But again, let me speak to my African youth. You see, this is not just a Burkina Faso fight. This is an African fight. Traore has shown us that it is possible for us to take ownership and control of our nations. This is a lesson to all of us and a message to all the African youth. It is time for us to reclaim what is rightfully ours. We are not negotiating, we are not begging, we are reclaiming. Thank you. Respect.
I have one message for the Western world or for the white man. When you hate a black man, hate his resources.
Like, I don't really have much to say, but I'm really happy seeing like people coming from their various homes to gather here for our brother. I'm just happy that like Africa is now awake. We are now modern day Africans who are awake from our sleep. No more sleeping as in at first, whereby we will be controlled by a white man. We have everything on our own as Africans. We have resources, we have diamonds, a lot, etc. I can't even mention. So right now that we have gotten leaders who will support us, let's support our own. Let's not hate. Let's not snitch on our own brother, because Traore is really the black star. Traore is a king. He's a hero, and Traore will never die. Traore is going to be with us. Anytime we pray, anytime I pour libation, I call on to my sisters to be with him. And I want Traore to know that he's not alone. We are with him. We are going to fight with him, even with the last single drop of our blood. Back in the days where the media was controlled by the white, now everybody has access to the media.
This is a revolutionary.
Greetings, family. Brothers and sisters. Brothers and sisters. You know, in Hyde Park, we're not allowed to use any kind of microphone, and we use our voice only, and we can normally reach the people. So just bear with us. This is not the best tool in the world, but I want to say, family, you know, I didn't come here today necessarily to speak. I came to observe and to stand in solidarity and to see what the state of our nation is. That's really what I came to do. I didn't really come to speak, but a lot of people are saying, Brother Neil, you must say something. I'm saying that because I want you to know, family, see, if we only come before the people to speak because we're on an ego trip, or we like the sound of our own voice, but really we're only talking.
As you can see. And here you can see the embassy. Yeah, it's on behalf of Ibrahim Traore from Burkina Faso. I'm out today at a rally. The rally is about the African Captain Ibrahim Traore, them trying to overthrow him. And all the diaspora, Africans around the world, they're coming together to march for the African dignity, for African freedom, and to end African exploitation. Stop them from bullying us so high.
So once again, thank you for your presence, and we are about, I believe, to move on to the French embassy from here. Sorry. And so we are here, my brother, I said we are here in solidarity to tell both the Americans and the French to stay away and stop the lies about our brother Ibrahim, about robbing the gold for his personal. This is what they have been doing in the continent for centuries.
African brothers and sisters, I'm sending this one out as a video. Today is April the 30th, 2025. And today Africans around the globe are coming together to fight for the freedom of expression, the freedom of being, and to arrange for our ancestors to step in and help us in this situation. Because we're other people, we are trying to look after ourselves. There is a people whose job has been to stop us from looking after ourselves so they can feed themselves. Well, today we've been hearing about America and France desire to come and make war with Captain Ibrahim Traore from Burkina Faso because he decided to say no more. Enough is enough. I'm going to video this because my brethren Accusations, God bless him, has been a pioneer of Pan-Africanism from a long time, and today is a very specific day in his journey and our journey as one people. So today we will start our journey from the American embassy, where the people are now gathering. Africans from home and abroad, international and international universe, are all gathering. And from there, the intention is to march all the way to the French embassy, hence making our statement of not being happy with their attempts to bully us, re-enslave us, and recolonize us in this neo-colonial structure.
He is a shining example of what African countries could look like if European colonizers could keep their colonizing asses out of their countries. And yes, I do realize that I am a European descendant person talking about this, but I am specifically here to educate other white people so that way you guys know what's being done to disenfranchise places like Burkina Faso.
Hey lovely people, I really don't know much about Burkina Faso or Captain Ibrahim Traore, but what I do know for an absolute fact is that if the United States military and politicians and the European military and politicians are saying that you're a bad guy that needs to be deposed in Africa, then you're doing something right, and I stand with you. Viva Captain Traore and viva Burkina Faso.
He's going to die. So why do I think Ibrahim Traore is going to die in the future? For sure. If you don't know, Ibrahim is the leader of Burkina Faso that took over the country with a military coup. The reason is quite simple. If you look at Gaddafi in 2011, if you look at Lumumba in 1961, one thing big leaders in Africa have in common is that all big leaders in Africa that want something great for Africa, that go against the will of the Western Europe or Europe, the West Europe, and the United States of America, they're not welcome.
Burkina Faso's revolutionary government in Africa has officially said no more to the foreign imperialists who are stealing our gold. Captain Ibrahim Traore, the youngest leader in Africa, has officially withdrawn the mining permits for all foreign companies that were stealing the gold of Burkina Faso. And he put out a statement. He said, "We know how to mine our gold in Burkina Faso, and I don't understand why we are going to let multinationals come in and mine it." Maybe that's why they tried to unalive him 16 times. In addition to this great news, Captain Ibrahim Traore placed those mines, 2 of them, under full state control, which means that the people of Burkina Faso will be benefiting from all the revenue generated by those gold mines, not some wealthy investors living in France or the United States. This is the path to true liberation for Africa, and this is definitely what the imperialists in the West fear the most.
Why are the Americans threatening Burkina Faso? Why is Trump going to back for the French and going after this guy? Why is the head of the U.S. AFRICOM, the Africa Command, talking about the need to secure Burkina Faso's resources? Because this guy is the boogeyman to European imperialism. He's a young black African Muslim Marxist who is digging out the French deep state in Africa. Most of the wealth of France is still stolen from Africa, and Traore is ending that system. Now, while Trump probably does not have any direct financial interest in the French Empire, there's what they always call the threat of a good example. The reason they tried to kill Fidel Castro so many times in blockaded Cuba was not just because of the loss of the banana fields and sugarcane fields. It was that if driving imperialism out of a country improved the standard of living in that country, then there's the threat of a good example of other countries replicating. So any country that dared to defy imperialism had to be severely punished. And what Brother Ibrahim has been doing and the Alliance of Sahel States have been doing has been improving the standard of living in their countries by using those resources for those countries, and that is a threat to imperialism worldwide. There's been something like 20 or 21 coup attempts or assassination attempts on him so far, and they're not going to stop. This guy is perhaps the single greatest threat to the imperialist world order right now.
Captain Ibrahim Traore of Burkina Faso, he's been in the news again recently. Now, to explain this, I'm going to have to give you a little bit of a crash course in Burkina Faso history. So he took power of Burkina Faso in 2022 in what the Western media call a military coup, but what many Africans and many people in Burkina Faso call a revolution. You see, Burkina Faso was, it used to be anyway, a French colony. Now, it got its independence as the Republic of Upper Volta in 1960. However, the French never really went away. And like many other colonies that France had in Africa, they made Burkina Faso use their CFA franc, their French franc, which France doesn't even use anymore. And as a result of that, Burkina Faso had to go through French banks. And the French banks then could basically buy the resources from Burkina Faso at pennies on, well, the franc. Which is quite a lucrative deal when you consider that Burkina Faso is Africa's 4th biggest producer of gold. And he made it his aim when he came to power to basically kick the French out and take control over the gold reserves in Burkina Faso. And guess what? It's exactly what he did. I mean, not only was it unfair that the French could basically have control over those reserves, buy the gold at a knockdown price, and have their French companies mine the gold and refine it and not pay any tax in that country whatsoever, but also they weren't giving back anything to the people of Burkina Faso. He didn't just take control of the mining though, oh no, he took control of the refining of it as well, built the factories, and this is him just a few months ago getting delivery of their first gold bars. But that's not all he's done in the last 3 years. He has completely and utterly revolutionised the farming industry and the agricultural industry in Burkina Faso. I've heard stories of them even giving students, agricultural students, all the land and the equipment and the seeds they need to start growing food for their own population. He's not just wiped out the entirety of Burkina Faso's foreign debt in just 3 years, he's also made all education 100% free in the country. He also cut the pay of ministers by 30%. There was a lot of corruption in Burkina Faso. But he's also increased the salaries of workers by 50% in that time. He's basically done more in 3 years than every one of the politicians in the UK have done in my entire lifetime. Which is probably why democracy is coming for him by the look of it. They say he's a dictator. No problem with Saudi Arabia or any of the other dictatorships around the world, but no, he's a dictator, the guy who's bringing food and farming and agriculture and wealth to his country. And of course, where there's resources in the world, there's the good old United States of America. According to many reports that I've heard, there have been over a dozen assassination attempts or failed assassination attempts on this guy's life. And it's no wonder, I know a lot of you will be commenting below, I'm getting Colonel Gaddafi vibes here. So you would think that this guy would be scared, right, of, you know, the Western powers doing what the Western powers do. But he has something to say to them. Take a listen.
They will tell us, you know, Thomas Sankara tried to do it like this, but where is he? He's dead. The Haitian president, he tried to do it like this. Where is he? He is dead. Gaddafi tried like this. Where is he? He is dead. These are the veiled statements made to us to instill fear. If we remain in this posture of fear, we will be cowards. And history will judge us. Our children will ask questions. Our grandchildren will ask questions. We are writing history. There's no room for cowardice.
Amazing guy, right? Consider this. He's just 36 years old. Best of luck to you, mate. Best of luck.
Ibrahim Traore is a name which you are going to hear a lot more about in Africa. This army captain took control of Burkina Faso in September of 2022 through a coup d'etat, and everything that's happened after that has been beneficial to Burkina Faso. So let's go through the list quickly. Firstly, he stopped the export of unrefined gold. He built his own gold refinery, and they are refining 150 tons of gold per year, which has increased their GDP with over $2 billion. He has given farmers in the country, I think 700 to 900 tractors, and therefore tomato production, rice production, and so forth, millet as well, has increased. He always wears military uniform, even with the gloves, and he's got a sidearm, and I can tell you, I'm sure he knows how to use that. So it's not just for show, it's to protect himself, and for good reason. Since he's come to power, at least 16 to 20 assassination attempts have been attempted against him. None of them successful, thankfully. He has also started to better the infrastructure of the country, resurfacing roads, creating a brand new airport. The list just goes on and on and on. Ibrahim Traore is a symbol of light And the naysayers, which would probably be people with Western orientations, will tell you that it's gotten through a coup and it is an authoritarian government. If you are a fan or not a fan, you should always be a fan of a good person. And that is the reason why I just spoke about Ibrahim Traore.
Thank you very much, Africa. Thank you very much. And to Ibrahim Traore, the letters, the messages that has been sent, and to the president of Britain, US, and the rest of these colonials, number one enemies, we have sent our message. We have stood on our feet and we have said enough is enough. Thank you to every country, as South Africa, Ghana in particular, these two countries, guys. You guys are the best. You guys are the champions of Africa. I appreciate you people. I wish Nigeria would even understand this, but like you heard, the leaders are puppets, like puppets in the pockets of these people. That's why they can't talk, they can't act. Criminals, wolves in sheep clothing, and that's why you see that they are silent. Look at Ghana, look at the rest, look at South Africa, look at the rest of other countries, even the British, even the whites came out in mass to say enough is enough, because they know and understand and stand for the truth, and we are here for nothing but the truth. To everyone who have participated, you are a champion, you are a hero, you are a queen, you are a princess, you are a real gem. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I truly appreciate. My heart goes out and my warmest well done goes out to the country Ghana and its citizens. I love this young man that has really sent this shocking warning to the president, yes, involved. I love what South Africans are doing. I love what every citizen of Ghana and South Africa and the rest of other countries that are out for this. God bless you, like I said. And yes, guys, more of these videos as it comes up will be updated on this channel, because here we are for Africa, one Africa. Even though we have to call out the wrongs from the right, as long as we need to stand and unite as one, we must surely do that, and know this and know peace. This does not stop us from scolding each other when we go wrong, right? And today I am really displeased with how Nigeria is falling aback when it has to do with this fight. I never expected anything more than what I'm seeing, but I pray that Nigeria wakes up, because this fight is not for a few countries, but all countries in Africa, as we rightfully know. And yes, that is nothing but the truth. Ladies and gentlemen, let's draw the line here, because it's been a lot, and I will see you in my next episode. Coming from your girl, your one and only Tando, aka Victoria Chinyere, aka Life of an African Woman, taking countries from North, East, West, South, and Central Africa to the world. We must arise and we must change the narrative. Africa must arrive and take back our resources by saying enough is enough. Till I see you in my next one. Ciao, ciao.